y'all, welcome back to the video. If y'all new here, y'all go ahead and like, share, subscribe, and go ahead and turn the notification on. This is called the Underground Railroad Society. Now, it's not exactly the Underground Railroad, but it's the Underground Society, so that's gonna be the title. All right, so two TikToks have been posted that I previously posted on my TikTok page. If y'all haven't followed, go ahead and follow. I had posted the project planning engagement system. One was called The Government Controls These Organizations, Clans, and Administrations. And the second one was called The Gang Afflictions and the Control Method. Okay, simply how everything works is the higher power people get paid authorities to sponsor brands, films, productions, and plays. And this is such as the Shawnee and the Opera Civic Houses, the Metropolitan Opera House, the Coachella Houses, the Broadway Houses. We see the World Protein Center, and etc. So you know the big opera houses, the big fields that they play in, and the big fields that the people always like to do artistry and like to do their music and like to film and do productions there. So those houses. Okay, if you're an upcoming celebrity, you would perform in one of these or any of these places, but there is levels to fame and fortune. While you are following the instructions on what the industry needs to push out, they are watching your life story, narrating every part. This title is for all the celebrities and the artists and all the people that wants information about this society. This is how they keep track of the music, your personal life, and how they make a story that fits the narrative and the consumptions about you. Okay, but the people that are the artists or the support but the people that are artists are supposed to agree to all the terms and conditions on the contract, or they will be public humiliated, exposed. Something might happen to their loved one, something might happen to themselves, something might happen towards their fame and their fortune. The deal might go into the deal might go into shambles. This is why the administration might have what is this word? Might have to agree, but never to expose the other mediums or channels, because they do not want the other channels and the other mediums and the other programs fighting and exposing them, and it just become one big clan, and then they completely lose their power and they completely lose their authority and resources. Now, this is what I put down. This is a trap for the youth, and specifically the immigrants and the poor whites. And then I also put down, this is how they are trapped, and this is how they are documentary are made once they're gone and once they're long ahead of the program. All right, so now you might say, what the heck are you talking about? How does this go through anything that you're talking about? Now, I did say in the other video that I would be breaking down like the steps and the people and the places and having specific evidence to talk about how there's a whole underground system that we do not know about. Like I talk about the trails and the road and the tracks and the people that works for the underground and people that works for the construction, people that do music, people that do fashion, people are that your favorite icons, your favorite fashion designers, your favorite music artists, your favorite writers, your favorite poetries, your favorite people that come down. The poetries, the people that come down. It's a whole underground system in society. Now, this is also how they found the case of Diddy, when they found all of the clothes and all of the baby oils and all of the baby powder in his freaking basement and up under the ground. And that up underground was connected to a whole bunch of other celebrities. And I believe it was the other celebrities was the Kardashians, and the other celebrities went furthermore. And I even think they said Justin Bieber and the other people and celebrities also was there to witness it or whatever. And this is how they talk about the white party, about the presidential elections, when they throw these mass parades and they have all white, they get dressed up so nice and so cute. And then they, go into their secret, campaigns, or they go into their secret groups and they talk about the things that they talk about. And this is why it's not discussed, okay? Because they have fights about it. If they have fights and put it out to the media will go crazy, okay? Because the sources has not been confirmed yet towards certain powers or certain elections. So certain elections don't know about other elections, and certain people don't know about other people, and certain governments don't know about other governments, and just things like that in that nature. And they don't want to expose the entire thing because they wouldn't be getting paid, they wouldn't have power no more, and they most definitely wouldn't have authority. And it would be kind of like a humiliation ritual because they don't have anything else to talk about, or they don't have anything else to give to us besides the drama and chaos that they be putting out, displaying out every single day. Okay, and let me go to the next page, which is then, okay, so yeah, to expose them, to make their business and their friendship or go bad. Okay, another word, expose their secrets, to their leadership and control. So the gods slash lords that they believe in want the children as either a blood sacrifice or as an informational tool. If they can't get that, they will train them in a human investigation experiment. But this is how they trap them, by making them work for them, using celebrities' lifestyle to participate in the influence and the content creating them. This is why they are called influencers and content creations, because they are specifically there for money purposes only. Now back to the top. There the riches are using their money to blackmail different people that work in the industry, which is their job, because they are getting paid to give them instructions and to navigate their lives in every way possible. This plays a role in your children's behavior. Your teens and preteens are all classified under a leader that is unjust and corrupt. This is why they're impatient, feeding the flesh and sins and gluttony, and also the adults that they are experimenting with have either killed themselves or tried to expose this. And these leaders wind up dead, because you must remain that they're hold on, but you must remember that they're all a team. All the companies meet up into an alliance with one another, and all the elites have to have a certain agreement to continue the process. And now I put the scripture time. But before I put the scripture time, I want to break down everything to you, because I don't think you actually understand what's going on right here. This company, right, the biggest company that you can possibly think of, has took multiple children and has took multiple preteens and adults and teens, right? And they have done experiments on them. Now, the experiments is how they break down what they eat, what they wear, how they clothe themselves, how they trend. And this was all brought down into a trend, okay? This was all brought down to what type of fashion you like, what type of food you like, what type of, and that's how they advertise, man. And that's how they do the cultural of advertisement, and that's how they do the culture of trends, and how they have big influencers and big content creators to keep pushing out the media, to keep pushing out the clothing, to keep pushing out the pharmacy, to keep pushing out certain drugs, been in certain what is it called, protein shakes and creatine shakes and things like that. That's how they keep pushing out those things. And that's going to be another video about the drugs and illegal substances and into our food and things like that, because that's naturally not supposed to be the topic here, and that's not supposed to get too much attention. But it's also something that they've done, so it needs to be talked about, and it needs to be put out into awareness or some type of category, okay? And that's just that. And now the influencers and the content creators and the brand and the marketing deals, they all have to abide by this contract. Now this contract is supposed to have a whole bunch of things that they're supposed to do, they're supposed to say, they're supposed to look, they're supposed to act like, and they're supposed to tell the people. And whatever they tell the people is what the people are going to believe, which is us, the people that don't have any power, that don't have any riches, that don't have any authority, any say so. And also the people that don't really have a say so over their life, because they're just easily influenced by anything and everybody and everyone. Okay, so yeah, you might say like, yeah, those are the people that usually get dumbstruck, and yeah, they do. But this is not about them. This is about how they control the society by using all of us, okay? Not just half of us, not just some of us, not just the people that want to participate, using all of us unwillingly and unprovoked. Okay, now you might say, why do they use us unwillingly, unprovoked? Because I told you there's a war going on in the spiritual category, where the devil needs his people, the devil needs his army, the devil needs his proper shields and his proper backup. Now, this all participates in the physical realm because think about it. All this land, all this money, all the trades, all the goods, all the greatness, all the badness has all came from what? A black man and a black woman, okay? If you're Chinese, if you're Japanese, if you're Latino, if you're Hispanic, if you're Asian, if you're Portugal, if you're Puerto Rican, if you're whatever culture you are besides Caucasian, besides white, besides pale, you are part of the black nation. I don't have to want to keep explaining that to you. And I just want to break down that we are all part of a system that can be established if we just put in the work and the effort to actually establish the system. But this is how they're taking from us. This is how they're taking the children. This is how they're taking the teens and the preteens and the codes and things like that. This is how they're taking them. They're taking them by the influencers and by the content creators and by the celebrities and by the major stream females and males. Okay, so your favorite actors, they're branding them. Your favorite fashion designers, they're branding them. Your favorite models, they're branding them. They're all under a contract. They're all up under some type of deal. Now, this some type of deal is with this rich man, is with this rich woman, or whoever else that control them, whatever else their name is. They're controlling what they do and how they do it, okay? And then they're giving it over to the other higher authorities because I told you there's levels to this, and this levels probably never stops, but there's levels to this, you know? And once you get to a higher ranking, which will be called the elite category, which is the elite category, you don't have to listen to absolutely anybody because you're just like the so-called pharaoh, the so-called king of the universe. And that's just how that you people put it into perspective. That's how people put it into display. But the reason why I'm informing you guys about this is because of how are you controlled, how are you manipulated, and how are you focused. This is how your focus and attention span is always bad. Like if you have ADHD, this is how you have ADHD, because the everything that's going on all at once is actually attracting something in you. Now that something in you is what they're using against you. Now your time, your energy, your money, and especially your space and your personal life has all been streamed into some type of media, and they call it the media that is called data privacy, or it's called a data policy, or whatever. That's collective data, and they collect that all around the world. And this is how they trap you. This is how they trap you into being into an influencer. You don't have any money, you don't have any wealth, you don't have any whatever you're looking for. You always look for something else, for somebody else to give it towards you. And they know that as soon as you get broke, and as soon as you need something, and as soon as you depend on them, they can trap you. They can easily set up a trap for you to get your time, your energy, your space, your personal data, and they can just use it against you. And they'll do humiliation rituals on you. They'll talk about you behind your back. They'll be fake friends with you. They'll be nemesis. They'll be enemies. They'll be whatever you call them to be because you signed off the contract, because you gave them a yes, because you gave them a handshake, because you gave them a smile, because you gave them a polite way about yourself, and now you're letting them into your space. Okay, so now that is a lot to break down. So if you do need help with breaking that down, because that is a lot to process, and I don't want to inform your mind so much that you don't think about anything else and this consumes the entire thing of your mind. But think about it like this: you put all your money into a system that is going against you instead of going for you. And this is the system that is actually corrupting the children and doing way more than blood sacrifices, and way more than just talking bad about you, or way more than just using your money, because they really don't need money and gold and silver and iron and all the things of this earth. They really need you to participate in the plan so the plan can go smoothly, if that makes any sense. But if it doesn't make sense, I have some verses in the Quran that I read to help you understand and process this information that I just gave you. Okay, the Quran says, "And do not follow and utter that of which you have no knowledge. Surely the ear and eye and the heart, all of these shall be called upon to account for it." Okay, and now this means do not follow things that you don't know what you're doing. That's simple as that. It's as simple as that. Don't do the things that you think that is popular, that's trending, that is okay, so cool, so raw, so rad. Let's not do those things, because those things are actually bringing us into a destruction, and we're already doomed as it is the American life. So let's not bring ourselves into under influence and onto a culture that we have no thing or no type of knowledge about. Okay, and that's the second one, because you're still here and you're still paying attention, you're still listening. That is awesome. And we know very well the purpose of their listening when they listen to you, and the purpose with which they confer. When they confer in private, and when the unjust say, "You follow none but a man is defrauded and deprived of reason." I'm sorry, I can't read my handwriting, y'all. I be trying so hard, but look, y'all see this handwriting, so y'all be looking at me like I can't read, but it's okay. And this means, the second verse means, you follow this creation, you follow this man-made thing, these man-made tools, these man-made rules and regulations instead of God, because you feel more comfortable with this man, but this man is actually confronting in secret in those codes, in those groups, in those backbiting, he's actually doing a whole lot of things behind your back that you can't see, because he has power, he has authority. All he has to do is tell you to eat the apple, but you don't know what the apple cost, if that makes any sense. As always, don't sign your name on anything. Don't say yes. Don't do any contracts. Don't do any deals. Be yourself. Be different. Be apart from the world. Be apart from the establishment. Be apart from these brands. Be apart from these deals. Because at the end of the day, that you're going to understand is that everything happens for a reason. Okay? And as always, good morning, good evening, and good night. I'll be back with some more explanations, and see you later.